Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot and welcome Cancer. This reading is all about you. Let's see what's happening for Cancer. Okay, someone's being patient here. It's also interest. Yeah, I see some sort of transformation. Somebody's going through a transformation here. How they're about investing. Yeah, someone here maybe thinking of ending a situation if someone's not interested, but I think someone's going to reach out. Yeah, saying to trust your intuition. Yeah, a little test. See, someone's going to be tempted, but it's a little test. Saying to trust your intuition. Yeah, someone feels they maybe missed an opportunity here. But if there is somebody coming in that you're not interested in and you don't feel the same, because they're not, I feel being patient, kind of hoping something, patience pays off, but it's also somebody going through change because of someone being interested. And someone's missed an opportunity. Yeah, it's a person who failed to see a magical opportunity. They didn't see. And there was some sort of indecision about whether to reach out, like a little test. Yeah. Yeah, it's someone who acted like they weren't interested. But sometimes they are. But if they're not, this is where someone stops reaching out. They go through transformation. So just trust your intuition. But I feel someone here didn't see something. They didn't see something coming here. Yeah, saying to trust your intuition. Like the Queen of Cups, you're intuitive. Yeah. And this is often a person who's trying to detach from something else. See, it's transformation. It's sort of like the Six of Swords. And it is the Death card, but every ending leads to a new beginning. So like I say, someone was going through this transition. Failed to recognize an opportunity, so it feels like I feel like that you were waiting for them patiently for them to reach out. I say taking a step back, seeing things in a different light. Someone seeing things a little differently. Tell me about this Prince of Pentacles. This is someone trying to detach. And if it is someone who's not invested, they come across as detached, like they're not interested, then you stop reaching out. But it's possible this person could reach out again. That's where I feel there's temptation, a little test. Yeah, it's an energy of someone not putting a lot of effort in or focusing more on work. Tell me about transition. Yeah, the Tower, some sort of shock, surprise. Somebody may have lost a job here too. I do see someone focused on it. Some sort of shock, surprise, something ended, losing a job. But it's also finding out that there's been this Tower moment. Yeah. Sometimes, the Tower and that's almost like someone... Definitely a shock, whatever it was. I feel someone lost a job, so they're focusing on work. Someone's putting up more money is coming in. This may be why. And it could be someone trying to detach from something, but I see a lot of focus on money. So, and putting in effort too. Let's have a look at this 6. Yeah, it's a person taking a little pause. See, massive epiphany. This isn't just a little aha moment. This is someone going, what? This is someone who was truly interested. They cared. Yeah, they kept it all in. This is someone often suffering in silence too, keeping it all in, not saying anything. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is a person thinking things through. Someone was choosing their battles here. They've been thinking it through. Yeah, taking a little pause, looking at it from a different perspective. So someone, trusting the intuition, keeping it all to themselves, not saying anything. And now we have the Empress. So this is telling me the start of something new. So I feel like, if you have somebody who's detached and they're not talking, I see someone trying to change their focus. I mean, this person was tempted, trust me. They really, really were, but they didn't see the Empress. This is what they didn't see. So it's a person who's now was choosing their battles. They're now thinking things through. And they're seeing things from a little different light here. So like I say, I feel there's going to be a test. Yeah, little time in between. That's the transition energy again. But it's finding out a shock that someone had ended something or lost a job. Someone's ego may have taken a little hit with that too. But it has to do with someone waiting for things to calm down. Temperance. Yeah. Little time in between. I see someone traveling, and it could be someone selling something, selling a business, anything, or losing a job. And I do see relocation, and someone's really focused. They're building. Yeah. You know, this is interesting too, because what I'm seeing here is definitely things calming down, moving into calmer waters, but it's transition, time in between, where someone has been thinking and learning, see what they didn't see. This is two people not seeing. This Emperor is interesting. Yeah, it definitely has to do with lack of money or feeling negative. Someone thinking really negative. Now they're looking at things from a different perspective, because what they didn't see, they're finding out. See, both people are shocked. You're both finding something out here. See, this time in between, feeling lonely, lack, negative thoughts, but someone's moving towards calmer waters. It has to do with a person wanting to build. I mean, this is an Emperor here. Yeah, you can see an ending. Interesting. It's coming up twice. Someone was going through an ending of a relationship. So there was this temptation. This Emperor was tempted. But what they didn't see is the Empress. They're now seeing it. And now they realize, the realization is, and I do see someone who just didn't make a decision too, because of an ending. But they were tempted, see, to reach out. They were tempted. Yeah. Tell me about the Emperor. What does this Emperor want? Yeah, it's two people coming apart, or someone moving, relocating, losing a job. But this is someone leveling up. This is someone who's leveled up. So they've been very focused. Yeah, they've been assessing the situation, kind of taking their time. It has to do with someone, it has to do with the person being sincere. And now they're looking at all this, they're looking at this situation here. Taking their time, someone who longs for love, crushing. See, they're reminiscing. Someone's reminiscing here about this. Romanticizing the past. Could have been someone who should have put in more effort. There is definitely that woulda, coulda, should have energy for sure. But it's someone who didn't make a decision because of an ending. But the temptation was there. So now there's this little test. Reaching out to test this. It's like I say, they're kind of romanticizing the past and reminiscing and looking at the situation. Yeah, so someone who truly cared. It's a crush, someone who longs for love. Someone was ghosted or ignored. It's another person, see, ghosting someone, ignoring them, because they're thinking a lot of negative stuff because of an ending. Tell me about the Death. Yes, it's an energy of someone who has everything they need. See, it's about manifesting something new. Someone who has everything they need. They've learned something here too. During this time in between, they have everything they need to manifest their desire. So there's desire to manifest this. Because this is a person who could be missing someone or longing for them. But it's also that romanticizing and putting in effort. Tell me about this. Yeah, workaholic. So much focus on work these days, but it's also obsession too. Someone ended something very unhealthy And it's because of an obsession with work. All work, no play is kind of how I'm seeing it here. But yeah, this is someone crazy about someone. This was, I do see an unhealthy relationship ending, and it came crashing down. This is where it crashes down here. Tell me about this Hanged Man, somebody with a little Pisces energy. Yeah, see, ego elimination. Someone's ego took a hit. Now they're seeing things from a different perspective. But this has to do with a person who generally gets a lot of attention. They get chased. But this is also someone who takes pride in everything they do. It's about being able to provide. I felt this is someone who felt they couldn't provide. Yeah, it's an energy of looks like a relationship that was unhealthy came to an end. But this is two people crazy about each other here. Yeah, look at that energy. It's someone's in, see, their energy has been there, done that. And now the interesting thing is with the feminine energy, been there, done that. It's about someone sacrificing. Could have to do with children. Someone who sacrificed a lot here. But it has to do with this need to hurry, opportunity coming in, feeling overwhelmed. See this energy of feeling a little overwhelmed. And keeping it in, suffering in silence, not saying anything. This person's learned something, though. You can see they're choosing their battle. See, ending something, they were unable to make a decision. But they're now seeing this. And it could be someone who ended things with another water sign, maybe a Pisces, a Scorpio, Capricorn. I see Aries energy, Mars energy, definitely Scorpio. So it could be them ending with it. There may have been some sort of manipulation or something too. But you can see this person's kind of seeing things from a different light. Because now we have the Queen of Cups here, which is telling me reminiscing and longing. Someone missing someone or just romanticizing. Something about romance. Yeah, and two people coming together, having a conversation. This is someone making a choice. I feel between two. Someone had to make a choice between two and they were unable to choose. But what they didn't see was the Empress. Someone who really cares. And it has to do with two people talking face to face, seeing eye to eye. See, someone didn't see eye to eye with someone. That's where I feel it's an unhealthy relationship coming to an end. So this is someone focusing on work, obsessing because they feel they can't provide. So there's been loss here. Lots of financial loss. Someone paying someone out, more money going out than's coming in. But this person has leveled up to the Emperor. What are they manifesting here? Yeah, change. See, manifesting change. So someone definitely moved on from a situation. So there's change coming. Tell me more about the Tower. Yeah, this is someone who feels beat up. They feel like giving up. They're looking back at this. So somebody kind of angry about something here. And I do feel this energy of detached, acting like they're not interested. I feel like it's possible that they were, but it's detaching from someone else. See, they hadn't put this behind. Felt they couldn't provide or give someone the attention, or they didn't give someone enough attention, and that's why it ended. But now we have this Queen of Cups here. So it's somebody making a choice between two, but they didn't see the Empress. I see what's happened, yeah. Tell me about the change. Yeah, this is the energy of someone's emotions starting to flow, sudden change, feeling emotionally overwhelmed. See, it's about the cup. We have a person waiting patiently for the cup. This is I feel the feminine knows what's going on here. But they're trusting their inner knowing. Choosing their battles. Someone who has to choose their battles. Yeah, you see, detaching, choosing their battles. They have to stay focused. This is definitely somebody who's moved on now, though. See, no expression. Completely disinterested, detached, emotionally detached because of this unhealthy situation. It's something that happens suddenly, too. Tell me more about the Page of Pentacles. Yes, it's definitely someone. They're single. This is somebody who's probably between two worlds, too. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person ended it and they were getting attention, being chased by a couple of people. So I'm going to be honest. I feel someone may have chose someone else and made a bad choice here. And it definitely wasn't successful. It wasn't long-term. But this person's shocked that this is someone who's still single. It's a person who's independent. They take care of themselves. Yeah, see, it's all about stability and partnering up. Yeah, this person's soul searching. A lot of soul searching, looking for clues, looking for answers. The path they were on, see, they weren't detached. They were still focused. And it has a lot of it to do with money and finances. But this is someone here who's looking for clues and shining a light. See, what they're seeing, they didn't see, now they see. Yeah, this is someone taking a break. See, getting out of their head, pinned down by their thoughts, clearing things up. It's definitely an unhealthy situation. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. Yeah, someone made a bad decision. So it was a judgment. Someone made a bad decision here. They chose the other person because they felt the other person was only interested because of what they could provide. But I'm going to tell you, the tables turned, and what happened, it was the other person who was only interested in what they can provide. Now this person's pinned down by their thoughts. This is someone who thought they were making the right choice. But I do feel they rushed into a situation here with someone who made a bad choice. And there was lack and loneliness. But like I feel, this is just... This other person, I feel, had nothing. They didn't bring anything to the table. But they provided for that person. This is someone who is always the provider. But they have leveled up here. And I do see that bad choice. Now there's that cup. See, feeling overwhelmed. This is someone offering up the cup. But I do think it's the person they ended it with here, pinned down by their thoughts, taking a break. See, this is someone who just thought there was going to be a break. But it actually was over. But they were tempted by this. Now they're going to take a step back and they're going to reach out to see if you want to have a conversation. They want to talk. Yeah, this person really blew it too. They're looking at it. See, they just didn't see. They weren't thinking. And like I say, they were unable to make a decision at some point. And then all of a sudden this other person's here. I think this person, if they ended with someone, they thought it was just going to be a break. And that's why I feel it's like they were tempted, but they, didn't make a decision. And then somebody else comes in. This is someone being chased because of what they can provide. But this person's crazy about you. Like, there's obsession here. Yeah, they're all up in their feels. See, this is how they're feeling now. They felt overwhelmed. They weren't thinking straight. Everything was just off. So they made a very bad decision. So now it's out with the old, in with the new. They've definitely gone through it. There's been an awakening. They've had a wake-up call. Loneliness and lack, feeling lonely. But this is someone that looks like they ghosted or ignored here. Because they couldn't make a choice, but then all of a sudden somebody else is coming in. Yeah. Tell me about this King of Cups. This person's all in their feels big time here. Yeah, they missed a magical opportunity. They knew a good thing when they seen it, but they didn't trust their intuition. It's like they knew something was off. It's not you, it's the other person. There was another person here. I feel they connected with them. But I don't think it wasn't long term. It wasn't a victory. And their ego and pride got in the way about connecting and reaching out. Yeah, see, choosing the one. This is someone making a choice. They chose the wrong person, because it's how they were thinking about yourself, that you were looking for someone to provide. But it's the other person. The other person had lack. They had nothing. They had no money. This is a person who needs to be needed. It's almost like help is on the way, this person. Yeah. But they didn't see the Empress energy. This is a person who always provides. Always. And I don't think they've ever had anything really long term. 6, 9 years, maybe 10 years. Yeah, if that long. But it is an energy of healing. And I do feel this is somebody here who... And it's almost like this person too was pressuring this person to marry them. Putting them under a lot of pressure. But it wasn't successful. It wasn't long term. Yeah, major ego sublimation too. Yeah, big wake-up call for this person. Massive awakening. So it's an energy of choosing the wrong person. Yeah, look at that. It's about morals, values, lifestyle, the way they conduct themselves. This person, it's a habit. They provide. It's almost like they need to be needed. Really unhealthy. It's time for this person to leave that in the past. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely someone who doesn't give them what they need. That's the thing. They're the one doing all the providing. Now they're seeing things from a whole different perspective, though. Like I say, this massive awakening they've gone through. Maybe even been some health issues here. Yeah. But I feel they're thinking about this unhealthy situation and that break. So during this time in between a break, and this is someone too, I feel, some of them ended a relationship. They thought it was just going to be a break, a time out, but it actually ended. But others of you, like I say, it's somebody else got someone else chasing them. And they provided for them because they need to be needed. And I do feel this is someone who gets lonely. This is a masculine who does not like to be single, but you can see they've leveled up because they've gone through the awakening. They've been assessing this and their life in general too. Yeah, this person sees this soulmate connection, wanting to connect. They know a good thing when they see it, but you can see that this person, yeah, someone else who has other opportunities. This is somebody who generally has good morals and values. They do commit. Yeah, I feel like they commit. They're a committal person. But it never... There's someone here who tried to rush this person into a commitment to pin them down. And I think that's when this person knew that the other person, because they tried to hurry them into it. That's when this person, I feel, went through the awakening. The one who chose somebody because that need to be needed. Help is on the way, right? But there was a lot of lack, a lot of disconnect. There wasn't a lot of emotion. Yeah. This is somebody being kind of fake, is what I feel. But the interesting part is they've learned. School of hard knocks. See, two people went their separate ways. Yeah, and I do think this is this person here, Cancer. I gotta tell you, I feel like you kind of know. I feel like some of you know what's going on here. And they are someone who is sincere. Like, I feel they're a loyal person generally. I don't see third parties. I see a loyal person. Or they see you that way. Somebody who faithfully waits. Someone who's there through thick and thin. But it's all about their lifestyle structure. There's a need for a change of life and structure. I do feel it's someone who kind of overindulges, overcompensates for the lack in their life. But I'm going to tell you, there's going to be another opportunity. You're going to cross paths with this person, already have. And I'm going to tell you, this is someone who now knows what they didn't know. You're the one. You were the one. And they've really, really blown it here. So that's why there's so much obsession. But I do think this is someone who's been overindulging, eating too much, drinking too much, overcompensating. So I do see maybe some health issues, a wake-up call, taking better care of themselves, lifestyle and structural changes. Yeah. But they are generally a committal person. It just never goes the distance. Tell me about the Six of Wands. See, this is someone who felt there was red flags. They were looking at this. They were seeing red flags. But what they didn't see, when they chose another person, that's what they got. Six of Wands. Yeah, they never got what they wanted. See, they never got what they wanted at all. And it is an energy of overindulging, overcompensating. This person's crazy about you, but whatever this is, it's over. I see harmony and balance. See, this is somebody who made a judgment they weren't fair. But I don't think this person was like, it's like they weren't in their right mind at the time because of an ending. And then all of a sudden this other person comes in, starts chasing, giving them a lot of attention when they were lonely. It's almost like they got taken advantage of. And I do feel that is the energy, being taken advantage of. Now you can flip the energy because the world is here, but the tables are turning. This is this person coming in, this masculine. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. They could be anyone. I see Virgo, Taurus. It's just about every energy here. But definitely it's an energy being emotionally mature, leveling up. It's about taking things to the next level. So I don't know if this I do feel they commit, but I don't feel this person's ever been married. And that could be maybe a problem this person has. They maybe move in together, live together. I don't know, but it never seems to, yeah. But they never get their cup filled. They never get what they want. And I do see the overindulging. See, playing it safe, being cautious. They felt there was red flags. But just be careful of anyone who tries to rush you into a commitment and tries to pin you down quickly. Yeah. Because some of you have been there, done that too, putting in all the work and effort and not getting anything for all that effort. So you want to watch that. I see both of you. I feel that you both got your own opinions. But I do think you're going to make an agreement. I do think you're going to be on the same page. I see a mutual understanding of some kind. Something is understandable. Yeah, they speak truth. This person has integrity and good morals. I feel they just make bad decisions in their love life. Now, I don't know if it has to do with childhood, how they were raised, this mother-father energy. See, a lot of relationships, old school relationships, you know, the wife stays home and does all the cooking and cleaning. The man goes out and makes the money. But then if things fall apart, the woman hasn't achieved any goals. And they feel like they're missing out. And I feel some of you have been there, done that, with that similar kind of energy. But I do see coming to an agreement. This person's honest. They have integrity. But I do think they made a very bad choice. Some of you, I could say, they hadn't put something behind. Timing probably wasn't right. But I still feel like an ending of a relationship and then somebody coming in chasing after them when they were lonely, taking advantage of their lack and loneliness, that needing. But I do feel and it's almost like the same thing happened, because the person they ended it with, it was very unhealthy. They were somebody who needed to, they were very needy. They needed a lot of attention. And I feel they focused on work and didn't give it to them. So they've learned here, if you want something, you have to give what to get your cup filled, you have to fill the other person's cup. But this is someone's life in a nutshell. And I can see they've learned the hard way, the school of hard knocks. They do commit, they're faithful and loyal, but it never goes to marriage. Now they're thinking about that. But I would be very cautious with this person. And the only reason I'm saying is because they may try to rush you into a marriage to pin you down. And you may be fine with that if you're in an agreement and you're on the same page, but there needs to be structural and lifestyle changes here. And if you both are similar, where you're not taking care of yourselves because you're lonely, you're overcompensating, eating the wrong foods, not getting enough sleep, whatever it may be, it doesn't have to be anything major. But like I say, helping each other out. I mean, it's an energy of two people who need to be needed, that's for sure. Both have that kind, caring, and nurturing, but I feel some of you have sacrificed a lot already. I actually feel this person sacrificed for the other person too, because I do feel they worked a lot. Yeah, but it's about the two of you spending time together, doing things together, cooperating, compromising. See, person was with someone where it was really unhealthy, always being torn down, being put down. And often you get relationships like that where two people are just not on the same page. They don't communicate well. There's not a lot of love. I don't see any love up here. So they tear each other down. But yet this is someone who provided. And I feel they were fairly content, but they weren't completely happy. And I feel that way for the feminine too. But yeah, I do feel it's about love, kind, compassion, and caring, spending time together, doing everything together, helping each other out. Yeah, see, it's about building a bond. It's all about building each other up, not tearing each other down. I think this person's had enough of that. And I do feel they overcompensated. This could be somebody who stayed at work and became a workaholic because they didn't want to go home. And I see that here. But, I mean, we've got the Lovers here. So two people who work together, they build each other up, help each other achieve their goals. Yeah, we got the Queen of Pentacles. Someone's very stable and grounded. Someone who plans, prepares ahead. So it's giving you a heads up if this is what you want. Some of you have been through a similar situation where you take care of the house and home, you do everything. And then the relationship falls apart. And it's like starting over. The interesting thing with the Queen of Pentacles, this is someone who's grounded, someone who works, they're stable. See, I think this person's never had anybody who works. They've always been the provider. So it's a lifestyle and a habit. So that's the kind of person they actually go for. Somebody who comes in and doesn't have a lot of money. So they're helping them out and the other person's helping them, cooking, cleaning, doing all these things, sacrificing. Not necessarily because they're getting supported, but it all just depends. Every situation's a little different. But yeah, this is about two people through thick and thin. They're going to, yeah, there it is, starting something new. Telling you. Now, if this is a situation that you've been in, Cancer, masculine or feminine here, this is about happiness and joy, the start of something new. The King and Queen of Pentacles, the power couple, the couple that work together, play together, stay together. This person could have friends like that too, where they're always on the outside looking in. They see everything they have and they want the same thing. But literally, some of you could have this person coming in. This is all part of an Emperor energy, though. Someone who builds a foundation, they commit. See, look at that. Long-term stability, the power couple. Two people who have each other's backs. It's a typical reading. It's what it's all about, right? Isn't that what people are looking for, that want commitment in marriage? But I do see someone hadn't put something behind, thinking they were on a break from a relationship, and then made the decision to end it, because I see they cut it out. They decided to just end it. And then this other person comes in. And it didn't last. That's what I see happening. But yeah, like I say, this is the couple that work together, play together, stay together. They do everything together. They help each other out. They both lift the load off the other person's back. So I do see happiness and joy. Yeah. Someone feeling happy. It's what this person wants. But to get that, they have to be able to give. They have to connect emotionally. Someone's obsessed here, like literally. Yeah, look at that. The cycle. They're ready for a new cycle. They want this to go in their favor, but it has to go in both people's favor. But they're definitely seeing things in a more favorable light. It's definitely a person who's taken time out to heal, to let go of what has shed all this energy. But man, did they make... This is someone who's made some really bad choices, but they've made good choices as far as money, finances. I feel they're stable. They've definitely leveled up to Emperor status. So it's up to you to decide. Yeah, if you're interested in this person. If this is someone that you are in a relationship with and you're on a break, there's a decision here. And it's going to be about truth. See, it's all about someone ending a situation, manifesting something new. But I feel there's changes, structural lifestyle changes that are necessary. So it's about two people having to both be on the same page with that and agree. Wish you the very best here. This is a tough one, I feel. I haven't seen an energy this heavy for a while. But this is often what people have to go through to get to that point where they finally learned all those lessons and they have that massive realization. If you want a stable partner, you have to be stable. If you want someone's kind, caring, and nurturing, you have to be kind, caring, and nurturing. Or it just all falls apart. The tower comes down. So, but this is looking like a whole new beautiful cycle. And I do see someone being a little more romantic. Somebody who's generally not the most romantic, but needing to learn a little of that to make sure that their partner gets the attention they need. Two people. Take care. Bye for now.